Hello, Juan. You're the first one. That rhymed. Hello, Juan. You're the first one. See? we, we made poetry here today. How have you been? And remind me, from where are you tuning in, please, Juan? If I remember, it was in the Middle East somewhere, I think. I think that's what you said last time, if I'm not mistaken. Then what is the background, John? Why is it spelled Joun? Spanish, by any chance? Looks like you and I are the only ones here today. Oh, there is Saga. Hello, dear. Good to see you here. I thought John and I are the only ones here. Robertas. Hello, Mehran. Just popped in to say hello and thank you for making them books cheaper. I thought I bought a few and honestly started the relationship one and can't thank you enough. Along that I can help others. Good, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that you stopped by and say hello. I always like to hear good stories. I'm glad that you have taken advantage of the now severely lowered prices for the ebooks, because right now nobody who has been writing me for the past God knows how long that they love to get the books. They've looked at the table of contents and they read the sample chapter and they love it and they want to have it, but it's expensive because their currency versus US currency is different. Mostly Pakistan, India, even Australia sometimes, and UK and so on, they all were hoping for it to be reduced, and now reduced to what, the price of coffee? Well, then you have no excuses. Nobody has any excuses anywhere in the world. If I see one more email coming to me saying I want to have the books but the price, I'll just hang up. So as you know, it is all very, very now reasonable and affordable, any currency. So I'm glad that you took advantage of it. And I encourage everyone to go ahead and just cut down on one cup of coffee and get those books, either one of them that you want, or many of you have bought all of them, because now all of them together comes to $15, all three of them. And they're like over 1,000 pages of material there. The Breakup Pain Handbook by itself is about 600 some odd pages, and lots of work went into that. Me, My Psyche and I, which is the one that I highly recommend, Me, My Psyche and I, it's only what, $5.99? I mean, just ridiculous. And or was it $6.99? No, it's $5.99. It's $5.99. And the Breakup Pain Handbook, the big one, is $6.99. The transient thoughts in me, which are the thoughts that appear in your head and you had nothing to do with it, and you want to wonder what it is and what does it have to do with you, where does it come from, what to do with it, that's $4.99. So these prices are really not focused for any economic objectives here. I'm sure you can understand. By the time PayPal gets their cuts and the marketing company or whatever it is that we have to spend to market it, there's nothing really there. But my intention is for you guys to be able to afford it. Each one of you get one, put in there, especially the ones who have over the years, which I think thousands of you, have been helped through the channel or through me personally. I want you now to get one of these books and have it in your library, whether to use it right away or for reference later on. Either way, if you have benefited from the channel, it would be a good idea to not just help the channel to grow, but help yourself to take advantage of these unheard of prices and get one and then just read it whenever you're in the mood. That's as simple as that. If you can't do that, then I'm going to raise the prices back up. So, having said all that, let's see who is here so we can have a chat going. So Roberta, it was lovely for you to stop by and say hello. I appreciate that. And what else did you say? And you said mainly, there's more. You said I start, there's a lot more. And I said, you said you're glad you bought these books, and you said that also I can help others with your knowledge. Okay. Just one question, she says. I have mate, when the night comes, I start getting depressed, thinking about how it was my fault sometimes of the breakup, how my ex was good to me and I did bad things, like had fights and arguments from my side, and this mainly comes at night. These thoughts about how it was my fault and they are now hurt because of me and my arguments, my beliefs. I don't know how to control my mind. In the evening, it's hard to not think about it. Well, it's difficult for you because you're trying to do exactly that, control your mind. Instead of controlling your mind, you need to understand how the mind functions. Don't worry about controlling the mind. It's like saying, I'm uncomfortable because I want to control the rays of the hot sun in the summer day, because I want to control the wind that is blowing so hard or it's blowing at all. Instead of controlling, just understand that's the wind, that's its nature to blow. And so all you have to do is just get out of its way. Don't have to control it, just understand it. What do you do when a truck is about to hit you in the middle of the street, or a bicycle is about to run you over? What do? You try to control it, or you understand that it's a dumb shit hasn't noticed where you are and what the traffic laws are, and is coming full force. So what is the first thing you got to do? Get out of the way. Then cuss and try to do whatever it is that you're supposed to do. So to get out of the way of the mind and the thoughts, you don't have to worry about what it is and control it. Just understand that this is the function of the brain. It remembers, it conjures up things, it brings guilt to you, makes you think based on the training and the conditioning of your consciousness, that you're trained to be a good girl or a good boy. You're supposed to be pleasing to everyone. You're supposed to set up and meet certain criterias and rituals and customs and regulations and set of standards of a behavior. Since you've been a child, you've been conditioned to be, nobody should be bothered by you. You should be this, you should. All these are playing into it, and you're focusing on, and you're looking at what comes to your mind with considering these conditionings that you've received and what you're supposed to be, look like, or to be, or complying with. Throw that all bullshit out. All you have to understand is that this is how the mind works. It comes up and conjures up with thoughts. I don't have to control it because I have nothing to do with it. Just so that it's there. So what? It's there. I don't have to think that now I have to feel guilty. No, you haven't killed anyone. You've made mistakes, you've realized it, and that's what life is all about. To learn from our mistakes, to see how things work and how things don't work, learn from it, and use it in a different way, or use it as it is in the next circumstance that we may find ourselves in. Otherwise, what's there to be bothered? So what? Yeah, they may have been annoyed with your behavior. Okay. You realized it, or it's now broken up. That was the consequences, if that was your fault. But whether it was or not, you can't think that it's only you. The thing wasn't working for one reason or another, and that's why the arguments were there. You guys couldn't understand each other, or he could not understand you, or you expected too much. Whatever it was, it didn't work, and it broke down, and each one of you are on your way. Wish each other well in your thoughts, and let it go. And whatever your thoughts brings about, none of your business. It's not your doing. That's what the function of the mind is. Thoughts come and go. That doesn't mean you should react to them. Okay, it's there. It's like you're sitting by a river and you're reading your book. There's all kind of things on the top of the river water passing by too. I mean, an apple or garbage or poo or, broken pieces of wood or debris of kind. You're not supposed to constantly look and see what it is. Let it pass by, read your book. It's all good. You're not responsible what passes on the top of the water of the river passing you by. It's none of your business. Now you want to say, oh, maybe 2 years ago it was me who threw that debris into the water. Now I can see it pass by. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Either way, right now, today, you're not doing anything that you don't want to do. You're fine. You're not making those mistakes anymore. But life is all about that. Learning these mistakes and go on. Nobody has been born perfect. And nobody will be perfect through life. And nobody will die perfect. So it is just a process. It's part of life. Don't beat yourself too hard. You made mistakes, learn from it, and try to modify yourself. That's it. That's your extent of responsibilities. As long as you have realized it, that's good enough. Now, let's go on. Have a good day and enjoy your life with your new partner and see what you can make out of this. Yvonne, hello dear. Let's see. John. So pronunciation of Joun would be how would your name would sound. I understand. I guess John is easy. Okay, let's see who has joined us since then. Oh, we are only a few people today here. There is Paranay. Hello, dear. I have dropped blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, and pineapple into my water. But so far I haven't tasted its effects yet. It looks refreshing. So, what do we have? Are we done? Should we all go home? Today, for the first time after God knows how many days, we have a little serious rain, which I'm really delighted, because the forest fire in BC has been going on for the past 2 months. 2 months. And off and on, we've been getting all these bad, fine particulates in the air, making life not as usual with people around here, and especially people closer to the fire. So today, there was some rain, I guess yesterday in the fire area, but little. We need a lot more of it. We need the kind of rain that we're getting here over there. And today here, lots of rain, and I'm really glad to see it. I wish more of this rain would be falling on the forest fires in Elephant Hill, Ashcroft, and safety for the people who are there and the people who are fighting the fire. Hopefully all goes well, and soon the fire is put out. Now, what else do we have here? We are very lonely today. We only have, and that's my fault, because I was supposed to be on at 11:30 usually, but I put a post on and it said 11:45. And perhaps in that 15 minutes, many people in India, which is about 12:30 after midnight, it became too late and they slept or gave up that we don't have any meetings today. But nevertheless, whoever is here, we will enjoy. Mohit, hello dear, good to see you. So we are looking for questions and things to do with your thoughts, consciousness, ego, desires, and fears. Things to understand how our psyche is put together, why we feel, act, and react the way we do, in lights of the day-to-day challenges and negotiation of life matters, and about your breakups, emotional problems, and things that you might be going through. You all know that you can always go to my YouTube channel, and there's over 550 videos, long and short, in regards to the psyche, thoughts, consciousness, ego, desire, and fears, in regards to emotional difficulties and challenges, in regards to breakups and so on, elaborate videos, and also lots of little videos, depending on question and answer, has turned into one video. And you can always go to my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, and you can see the table of contents of the books that I've written. You can read a sample chapter of the books that I've written, see how it grabs you, what you like. Paper version is still the same price. It's very expensive because it's heavy and it's got to be shipped all over the world. But the ebooks that I put them up for your conveniences and to download, it's now reduced to ridiculous prices of $4 and $5 and $6, something like that. So you're all most welcome and encouraged to get a copy, especially the ones who have been helped through this channel, not just to help the channel or pay your dues, but take advantage from the prices of these books. Get one, download it, put it in your library, and it comes to you in 3 forms. The Mobi, I think, which is the Amazon style, and then there's the ebook version, and also in the PDF file. So you'll have 3 books of each book that you order in 3 versions of it. So I hope that you will do that. And also on the site, mindthatseekstruth.com, you will have an opportunity to see a seminar I did on the end of fear, that links the thoughts and fears and time together. And I did a seminar in one of the local universities, and that has turned out to be a very helpful and elaborate discussion about it, which again, you can see a 10-minute sample of the video, and if you liked it, you can purchase it for, I don't know, $8 or something like that. And also you will have an opportunity to see, if you want to have a one-on-one discussion on Skype with me, you can make an appointment, see which package suits you, and then we can confirm the appointment, and then we'll have a Skype chat about what's concerning you. Having said all that, please do join the share the videos that you like on your social media. That helps the channel and helps people to know that there is support available and to know about my work and so on and so forth. Having said all that, now we are open back to see what questions we have, if we have any. And Pranay says, I'm from India. I'm listening to you while in bed. Okay, good. And then I'll probably put you to sleep if you if you just listen, and hopefully that you will be fast asleep. Now, we are looking for questions, and we have when you have a challenge, you can always go to the YouTube channel, and you can either search the topic that you're looking for in the search engine of my channel, or you can go to the playlist and look at, I don't know, we have, I think, so many playlists, maybe 50 playlists, I think, and you can find a topic like anxiety or depression or suicide or happiness, success, things to do with why you hurting so much after breakup. What is it that you miss about your ex and all that? The reasons for the way you feel after breakup. All these different playlists, which I really don't remember. And there's another playlist called the Psyche, which is a very, a little bit heavier of all the other playlists. Maybe the roots of it all helps you to understand how your psyche is put together. And then the books have lots of other stuff that is not in the videos. It's just most of it different, especially Me, My Psyche and I, and the Transient Thoughts and Me. None of that stuff is on the videos. So I think that between the channel and the books and the posts that I put on the Mind That Seeks Truth Facebook page, which there are two of them, author and the books, they're both mine, it's all fine, but the author would have maybe more of the stuff in it. So between all these sources, the site, the consultation possibilities, the books, the videos on the channel, you should be able to flow through and coast through your challenges, whatever it may be, and be more equipped to deal with them on a daily basis. And it seems like for the past 4 or 5 years that I've been doing this, thousands of people have appreciated and enjoyed and benefited from, and that's a wonderful feeling for me. So choose the videos that you like and share them. Let the others also feel helped and supported. Now again, we're still looking for questions, otherwise you and I will be sitting here watching me drink water and I don't know what you guys are doing. So come up with some questions if you haven't yet. I thought you would have probably had some questions through the week written down and ready to shoot it off. Soon or someday, I don't know when, we'll have the live talks streaming on the YouTube. And on YouTube it will be different because there could be lots of people there, and then you will have the option of bringing your question on top so I can see it faster, and the options are explained how it works and all that there. But until then, it's all free here, so take advantage of it to throw in your questions and so we can have our session today. And if not, if you have no other questions, well, within the next few minutes I can just let you guys go and I can go about my day and we can all meet maybe at some other time. Tomorrow, hopefully I'll have a live talk on another Facebook page, which I usually have on Sundays, the Amazing Things in the World Facebook page, which I will put the post up on the Mind That Seeks Truth Facebook page tonight, and it'll be the same time, 11:30, but it'll be on a different link. the Amazing Things in the World Facebook page link. So, okay, looks like we are very exclusive today, and we are, unlike other weeks that we were bombarded with questions. Maybe it means that this 15 minutes that I put it off from 11:30 West Coast time to 11:45, it would change many schedules as well. And so Sonia, hi Mehran Juni says, hello Sonia Chun, where have you been? You guys are late. What's going on? And here Mohit says, say something on this. On what, Mohit? I only see this sentence. I don't see the subject. Russell says, what advice can you give on feeling lost with no purpose in after hitting rock bottom? Well, it's wonderful that you hit the rock bottom, because now you see it's time to go up. That's the only way available to you. When you hit rock bottom, when you hit hard, when you fall from somewhere, what do? You try to dig the ground and go further in? No, you're convinced as much as you could be that there's no further down. So if you want to be mobile and move, the only direction is to get up. And recognize that it's not a good feeling to be rock bottom. And rise and build. Build things under your feet. I don't care what is there. Even if you have to shit and stand on top of it. So you will get used to the idea that there's something else available other than being rock bottom. A donkey fell into a big hole and nobody could figure out how to get him out. So, and the owner wanted to get rid of the donkey because the donkey was expensive apparently, or he didn't have money to feed it or whatnot. So he made a big hole and threw the donkey in and started pouring sand on it. The donkey, which everybody thinks is stupid, all he did was every time the sand was there, he went on top of the sand. The owner kept pouring more sand to bury him, and he kept simply went on top of the sand. Eventually, the donkey was on top of the sand, and sand was filled the hole, and the donkey was out. And the owner said, well, I can't bury him now. He's so smart. So be smart. You rock bottom. Stand up. First thing you do. Realize how shitty it is to be down there. Then now find ways to put things underneath your feet, no matter how small they are. And inch by inch, get yourself back up. There is no need for you to think that's where you have to stay. People fall down every day. But just because we've fallen, that doesn't mean that it's been a chosen place for us to remain there. We all fall, but we get up and go. Simple. And that's what you got to do. It's not that difficult that you think. Rock bottom. What the hell does that mean, rock bottom? You hit rock bottom on what sense? Most probably because your mentality. You're rock bottom in your mind. Otherwise, you're nowhere rock bottom. It's all the same level on earth, pretty much, you know. So you're not rock bottom. In your mind, you think you are. Change your mind, change your life. Believe that you can rise, believe you can build, believe you can advance, and you will. Because body follows the mind. Whatever you do in life, even if you want to go the other side of the room, your mind goes first, your body follows. So if you rock bottom because your mind has gone down and your body has fallen and followed and thinks that's where I have to be. No, your engine works. Change your mind, advance it, your body will follow. Make a decision, make a plan, step by step, no matter how small it is, your body will follow. And no longer it will be rock bottom. Rock bottom is a state of mind. Change your state of mind, you will change the place that you're living and your whole lifestyle. I hope that will help you to understand a little bit more. And you said no purpose in life after you hit rock bottom. Hitting rock bottom, all it does, it makes you to look for more purpose or better purpose. Probably you felt you feel your rock bottom because your purpose was shitty. You probably were feeling like your purpose in life is to have this girl, to marry this girl, or to have this job. Well, one thing of all these things that are possible in the world, you focused on one thing to sum up your whole life structure and your whole life opportunity. And on that note, you couldn't get that one or it didn't happen. Now you think it's rock bottom. No. Change your purpose. The purpose is not one thing in life. Purpose is, if that purpose doesn't work, find another purpose. That's the purpose. Otherwise, there is no one set things that, oh, that's my purpose and it didn't work, therefore I'm dead. There's no other purpose left. Change your purpose. What do? You want to, go from here to there. This road is closed. Take another road. Veer off and get to your destination. No big deal. There is no certain rule for that. So many purposes in life, positive purposes. Find them, enjoy them, advance towards them. If that didn't work, you made good efforts, it didn't work, another purpose. Next, there is no set destination in life. There's always destinations, and one destination after that destination. You can't say, okay, when I get this job, then that's the end of my life. That's the destination. No, when you get that job, then there is another thing you want to accomplish. Make it something different, more, learn more, make it better. So when you go from point A to point B, that's not destination. That's still on the path of life. There's another point further than point B. So it's all a journey. And on the journey, there are lots of different destinations, depending on where you stop, where you stand, where you rest, and when you continue back on for what purposes. Change your purposes. Always purposes are available. Find positive ones and follow it through. It's never short of a purpose, especially good ones. Mohit says, I'm a student and working hard to achieve a goal since last 4 years. But every time I failed, I'm in low spirit now. What should I do? Failure is part of success. Failure shows you which wire should be connected to which. Because every time I put this wire to this node here and the light doesn't go on, well, I know it's not the right one. I change it. That's a failure. Help me to go to the next possibility. And I try that, still the light is not on. I take it. So every time you fail, you're one step closer to actually finding what you're looking for. Because there's a certain number of things and stepping stones that we got to pass in order to get to where the path is wide open and we can find it. And every time that we take one step and we haven't reached our certain destination for that purpose, it means we have to take another step. It doesn't mean that that's the end of it. We made a mistake. It means we have to take another step. It's not enough. It's like you want to reach an apple on top of the tree. Well, you reach up and you go a little bit higher, you can't get it. What does that mean? End of it? No. It means you got to go one step higher. So you go on a branch. Try. Not yet. You go on top on another branch. And eventually, every time that you see you're not reaching to the apple, it just tells you got to take another step. Another try. Eventually, you'll be where the apple is and you pick it. And it will be a very valuable apple because you really worked hard on it. So every time you fail, it just tells you, gives you a clue that this wasn't maybe the way to do it. Maybe this wasn't enough effort. Maybe this wasn't the right thing that I wanted to study or learn. Maybe my interest should be on something else, another field of study, something that I would enjoy, want to learn. Because when you want to learn something, you'll be good at it. When you don't like the subject, it doesn't matter how much you really work on it, it'll be very difficult. So every step of failure should not be looked at it as what it is. Should be looked at it as part of a bigger picture, as part of a pathway that you're supposed to negotiate in order to get to somewhere that doesn't look like a failure, looks like an oasis or beginning of it. Yeah? So these are all indications. You know, when you drill a hole for water, you see no water, it means that's not the hole. Dig another one. See no water, that's not the hole. Dig another one. You see little water, oh, that's maybe the one. Maybe I'm closer. So I dig a bigger hole or continue it. So small achievements or zero achievement doesn't mean there is no possibility for the achievement. It's a clue to make modification, to make changes, to finally find the mother lode. And that's when you will see all these failures and all these things, experiences, had a purpose. The purpose was for you to try harder and to get where you're supposed to be getting by modifying your ways and your directions. Persevere. Don't give up. Amber says, hi, sorry I'm late. Hope you're well. Oh, hello, Amber. You're not that late. I was late myself. But you're like 15, 20 minutes late. That's okay. Instead of 35 minutes late. So Russell says, another question. How do you forgive yourself for hurting others emotionally if you have no way to apologize? How do you feel free of guilt? Well, the fact that you have recognized what you did was not something that you would do again, or you would choose to do, or that it was bad, it wasn't a good choice, that already has made a change in you and has put that energy out that you feel the way you feel, and therefore you have put a positive energy out, and it's good enough for you to feel it. Next best thing is to write a letter. Write a letter about your feelings, if you want to apologize, whatnot, and then mail that letter to that person, because that's possible. And even if you couldn't find that person's address, which is not difficult these days, email, text, where they work, something you can, use the address. Don't show up there. It might not be something you should be doing, but send the mail, and that's good enough. And even if you couldn't find the address, just write the letter about your feelings, put it down, and express it in writing, and then leave it for someday. If the opportunity came, you can deliver it, you can mail it, you can send it, or at least you have said it, which supports the idea that you have understood it to yourself, and you will calm down. You will have expressed yourself, and you'll be satisfied about that. Okay. Now, we are caught up with the questions. It's amazing. So let's see who else is brave enough to express himself or herself. So it looks like that 15 minutes makes a big difference. Instead of 11:30, if it's 11:45, then suddenly things change, and not too many people get the chance to be here. I wonder what is the best time. Most of you are right now in India, and that's a different story, because in India right now is very late, later than any other place in the world. Of my friends who enjoy participating in this live talks, other than Australia, it is now probably about 1:30 or 2 o'clock in India, and they're still here. Lots of people from India here. And UK is only about 8 o'clock at night, possibly, or 8:30 or something. And only Sonia is here from UK. So let's see. So Akash says, I think you haven't been through it. I don't understand that. Amber Khan says 8:30. Oh, 8:30. That means you're in UK, Amber? 8:30. Yeah? You must be in Europe. All right. Yeah. 1:05 a.m. in India, I think. Probably. Yeah. Okay, good. So, if it's, I wonder what time it is here. Because I don't want to keep you guys too long. And we are going until 12:45, which we have another 10 minutes, guys. That hour passed very quickly, even though we didn't have as many people with us today as we usually do. But we have 10 more minutes, so if you have any question, please do. Oh my goodness. A couple of ants are trying to enjoy my water. That's not good. Go get your own. How to know other person's real intentions? Ooh. You mean a possible partner? Some boy who you're interested, right? You will know it. First, tell me if I'm correct. Is it about a relationship, an intention of if they want to just be in a relationship for a long haul, or they just want to enjoy themselves, or they just want to be friends? Is that what you're talking about? Just make that comment so I would know I'm on the right track. In general meaning not in relationship, just about business, and you got to be a little bit helpful here. Help me out here. as Dr. Eva would say, throw me the bone, give me the info. So make your question clear for me, Amber. Don't be shy. Is it a relationship? Say relationship. Is it business, or what is it? Is it intention of what? To bring you harm, or to cheat you, to what? Give me a scenario. So yes, as a friend, as a co-worker, as a boss, as a neighbor. Gee, it's like telling me they each have different roles, because you will have a different relationship with each one of them, and that becomes apparent. You see, everybody has a certain image of themselves, and their relationship with other people, if it's usually, regardless of the type of a relationship, is between the image you have of yourself and the image of the other person that you have in your mind. So it's the two images that have relationships, not really you. And that is what most relationships, romantic relationships, really don't work, because they never know each other. The relationship is based on their images. The two images are having relationships, not the two persons. They don't even know how each other's consciousness is put together. They have a certain image of themselves, and they have a relationship between this image and the image they have of that person in their own mind. So when you tell me how to tell the intention of the person, that it could be as a friend or co-worker or a boss or a neighborhood. Well, it will only be able to see it through their actions, because this is a little broad question, and the time that you spend with each one of them is very different. With your neighbors is a different set of time, depends on how close you guys get, what activities you have, or how interested you are to be neighborly or just be independent and not really know the other one exists. Or with your boss, the relationship is very in a different frame. With your co-worker, again, depends on if the co-worker is going to benefit from your efforts in the office, or the co-worker finds you as a threat to his or her own advancement in the corporation. It all has different scenarios. But as a friend, between friend and romantic friend, that is a little bit more clear to know, because through the way they behave and interact with you, the suggestions of activities, the attention, the level of attention or lack of it, certain topics of discussions and certain efforts to make you guys spend more time together, these all will give it away what their intention is. Co-worker, again, you cannot know, because it depends how well they play the game that they're playing. You can't expect a co-worker and a boss and a neighbor to be in the same zone or energy level or interest to bond with you than your friend or relationship is. So each one of them would have its own. But again, through their general behavior of how they're affecting you and your well-being, the energy that they expend, the activities they're involved in, which would or would not benefit you, harm or not harm you, you can tell about their intention. Otherwise, it will become a little bit more specific, which we would have to have a specific scenario to elaborate on that. Sagar says, what are the ingredients of a good relationship? How do we make sure that our partner is happy in the relationship and does not ever feel like leaving? You cannot make anyone to stay. And you cannot focus or go into a relationship just and thinking that you're responsible to make the other person happy, or that the other person is responsible to make you happy. Each one of you must have found happiness before you go into a relationship. You must have found your relationship with nature, your relationship in your life, your paths and your cause and your purposes and your level of happiness and reasons for happiness before you enter a relationship. Once you have that, then your relationships would become more realistic, because the purpose of the relationship would be to get to know that person, to create and build something together. Not that you're in a relationship because you couldn't be happy, and by having this person, him or her, you now would feel or think that there's a possibility for you to be happy. So that's not going to work, because everybody is coming into the relationship to become happy through the attention and effects and interaction with the other side. If that's your intention, neither one of you will be happy. You should be happy before you come into the relationship. And if you do, then it will be based on equal footings, based on things that you can bond on consciousness level, your activities, and it's honest relationship, not a relationship based on what the other person is going to do for you. And if it is not done the way you want it, and the other person thinks the same way, what are you going to do for her? And if it's not done the way she wants it, in order for her to become closer to her intentions or happiness or way she feels about herself, then you guys are going to leave each other. If it's not based on what the other person does for you, and it's based on interaction and bonding and helping each other to build something and understand each other's consciousness, then you have a chance for it to last longer. But if it's only for the purpose to see what and how the other person is going to help you to reach this level of happiness that you couldn't reach by yourselves on your own, then it's not going to last long, because there's always going to be somebody else or something else out there that you or they might think that it will bring them happiness, that they can't find it here, and they're going to jump ship, they're going to go to another branch, and they think because they can't find happiness on their own, so they're looking for somebody else to find it. So if that's your intention for a relationship, it's going to fail. But it's your intention is to build something together, get to know each other, the real each other, on conscious level bonding, then you will have a better chance. Hello, Bobby. Chicago. Yes, they're only 3 hours ahead of us here. Bosco, hello dear. WD. Now, Akash says, I'm from India. Oh, okay. In a relationship. Oh my goodness, Akash has a big question. Let's see what small questions we have, then we come to that. So I hope, Sagar, that was helpful for you in regards to your question. Amber says, yes, but I do get people wrong. Well, don't perceive them, observe them. You get them wrong because you come to a conclusion from what they did, something nice they did, you think, oh, they're just wonderful, because that reminds you of that other friend that you had who was so nice and did so nice things, and suddenly you're no longer seeing this person, you're only seeing this person based on what you remember of that other good friend that did similar thing as this one is doing, and then no longer you're judging her based on what he or she is doing in relation to you, you're judging her based on what you think she's similar to what experience you had with somebody else before. And if that somebody else before was not a good relationship, and this poor thing who is got nothing to do with that one is going to get the judgment based on what your experience was rather than what he or she is all about. So don't perceive them, let them introduce themselves to you independently and independent from your information of your past memories with some other relationships or friendships, and see how it is that they're interacting with you, and as you go you can always assess it, so then you won't take them wrong. Don't jump into conclusion, they're good, they're bad, they can change all the time, and just over time you will have a better idea about them. Bobby says, I have a talent working with children, but lately I'm losing confidence because I feel like I have no control over the environment. How do I know children are my path, or should I try another avenue of work? How did you know what life is going to be about when you were growing up? You didn't. You were doing everything as you would see is best way to do or negotiate or interact with it. Whether it was your home life, your school life, your homeworks, you just dealt with them as steps that it came to be wherever you were. You didn't think about, okay, today I'm going to grade 3, but I don't know if grade 3 is really going to get me anywhere. So I'm not sure really, should I do my best or should I just wait and keep staying on grade 2 or hope that I will get to grade 4. Unless you actually negotiate one way or another grade 3, you can't get to grade 4, right? Unless you one way or another negotiate this street, you can't get to the next street. So it doesn't matter really, you think, if this street is where you should be or not. By negotiating this street, there would be other streets become apparent to you. And then you will have a better way to know which ones to choose. There are more options. So by being involved with developing, being good with children right now, is something that at this moment seems to be right. And as you go on, you will see if this was or wasn't, because we may feel this is something I want to do, but after learning it or involved in it, after a while you feel, no, it wasn't. I'm really not really that keen in it. I was, because it was all brand new, a new thing to me, something to learn, and we all want to learn things, and so you were excited about it, and you did a good job, but now you feel it is not going to give you more of what you're hoping to learn. That is when you will keep your eyes and ears open for other opportunities, because you have passed this street. Now you can see there are other branches of streets that you can choose, and then you can maybe see, have a foresight, see which street ends out where, somehow looks like the place I want to be. So you will, by your feelings, you will get into that and see if that's right. If that wasn't, then again, it has advanced to a certain point. You learn something new, and then you see other possibilities and you change. But don't think that you should know it all for sure now. The whole path of experiencing things is how you become clear what is or is not that interesting to you. So don't be so quick in thinking that suddenly you got to have the answer before you change. You keep doing it and keep your eyes and ears open. Your interests might change. Even if you really like what you're doing, your interest might change at a certain point in life, and then be open to that. For now, don't be bothered about what this might or might not be. Just do your job well. Be good as long as you're doing it. And while you're doing it, you will get that self-satisfaction of having done a good job with the children. And then eventually you will see, because I've done a good job, I like it more. Or even though I've done a good job and I'm really happy helping children and they're benefiting from it, but I still think something else is better for me. And you will find that something else. When you do, then you make a decision to change or not. But as long as you're doing what you're doing, pay full focus and attention to it, and do a good job, because that brings you a lot more satisfaction, confidence, and happiness, whether for this job or for whatever else you may want to be doing, because you're conditioning yourself to do a good job at whatever it is that you're doing. Not that, I'll do it, but I'm going to wait for something else. Okay, keep your eyes open for something else. But at this moment, focus on this, because you will be feeling happier, and the children will benefit fully from your talent and know-how. Bobby says, wow, wonderful, thank you for clarity. Oh, you're welcome, Bobby. I'm glad that you enjoyed. That's something for you to think about. So let's see. Amber says, thank you for your answer. You're my pleasure. Oops, I lost it. Cigar says, that makes sense. Glad. I would like to make sense. Bobby says, Chicago, Illinois. And where are we here? Aha. Now we have Akash, who has a big question. He says, I am in a relationship. Okay. I have a lot of problem in my relationship. Okay. So far, so good. Typical relationship. 1. Her parents don't like me because I'm of a different religion. The problem in India often is either different religion, different caste, different this, different that. I understand. Okay. So I understand the severity of the problem, number 1. 2, because of this, it seems like she's giving up on me. Yes, that is a possibility, because she's obviously following her parents' wishes, and in India, I'm sure it's very dominant. attention on the choices of the girl mostly and the boy by their parents, especially if they're from different caste or different religion, it becomes a problem, and they convince her. And of course, women are not all the same, as men are not all the same. Some women do focus on what is most comfortable for their future, and if the parents convince her that it's going to be this, it's going to be this, and constantly eating her head off about the negatives of it, to be involved with two different families with two different religions and all that, and all these things, eventually she'll just feel like nauseated, and she'll say, okay, yes, and she'll forget about the beauty of the relationship that she may be having, and focused on all the possible problems, that not all of them are out of line either. If there are religions involved and they're different, there's going to be obviously some challenges, because people's consciousness based on those religious beliefs and so on is different, and then if they can't bond on consciousness level and always trying to prove that my religion is better than yours, and you're this and I'm this, and always going to be conflict, unnecessary conflict, over and above the regular conflicts that two families may have, even if they're from the same religions but their children have now married. So these are going to be some things that you got to be realistic too. As long as you guys are living in that society, and religions differences and dominance are going to be so important to families, because they consider that their roots, their way of life, and all that things, unnecessary beliefs that they all have, then it's not going to work. It's going to be difficult. Religions have their own good points, and they have their own shortcomings and problems that cause for people. So these are all, what you're saying is realistic. I can understand that. And you should understand that these are really how it is. You can't just be focusing on the fact that you love her because the intimacy, or the way you feel with her, the way, all that true. But if she has changed her mind because of whatever it is, or what her parents have said, or what she has realized, or whatever it is that she has, if she has changed her mind, if one side has changed her mind, then you can do it. The other side can do it too. Because she's no God, neither are you. So if one of you decide that the other side is not good for me, or I can do better, or for whatever reason I shouldn't be with her, or she thinking she shouldn't be with you, well, the other one can do the same and should do the same. Says okay. Because the number one criteria to be together, have a good relationship, is if two people both want each other. I don't care the reason. If one side doesn't want the other one, then the other side should say, well, if she can, she doesn't want me. If she can do without me, I can do without her. Simple. But not the, oh, she doesn't want me, so I want her more now. Why? Why would you ever want somebody who doesn't want you? Why? For what reason? Only because you're so focused on the sexual thing, on the possessiveness, on this is my woman. So what? What is she going to do for you if she's not willing to help you to build a life? What is she good for you? If you're not going to help her to build a life, if she wants to, what are you good for her? Then you obviously got to separate, go on your way, find somebody that you both really want to be on both sides. So I'm telling you, if for whatever reason she has changed her mind, or she's showing you the cold shoulder, so what? You go on. Take your clue and have respect for yourself, and expect a partner who would want you and can overcome all this, or not be concerned of anything. Wants you, wants to be with you. That's the right partner. Not that you try to dig and try and to break the mountain just because so you can be with this girl who doesn't want you for whatever reason. Anything she can give you, another good woman can as well. Anything you can give her, another good man can give her as well. So if you guys don't bond on consciousness level and want to be together, nothing else works, and you can always find somebody else just the same or just as good. I'm saying that to be equal on both sides. But since you brought the question in, I'm going to address it to you. Anything that she can do for you at this level, that you guys don't have children or anything, haven't married, any other good woman can do as well. So don't be so fixated. It has to be her. Why? It has to be someone who wants you as much as you want her, and is willing to figure out things together, and no barriers there, whether religion barrier, whatever. Just you guys can say, okay, it all works out, everything seems fine, and okay, she wants you and you want her, that's great. But as soon as one doesn't want, I don't care the reason. The first criteria of being with someone is if both want each other. If she doesn't, then it's not qualified. You should have respect for yourself and move on. So 3 says, but I feel it's being hard for her to keep it balanced. Of course it's hard for her, because she's between the rock and a hard place. She maybe loves you or loved you, and now the parents are saying all these things, and she sees all rosy on the other side of the fence. Oh yeah, maybe another guy, or maybe another, and they probably tell, oh, we bring you this, we bring you that, the religion problems are going to be difficult, or we'll, all the scenarios that, you know, she doesn't want to hear. But eventually it's going to make sense to her, and it's going to make it difficult for her. So now you got to respect her and respect her wishes. It's a free world. She can decide whatever she wants, but you also got to respect yourself. If she has come to a certain conclusion for whatever reason that she doesn't want to be with you, or she has to change her mind because of her parents or whatever it is, fine. You also respect yourself and go on, find somebody who wants to be with you. That's the first criteria of building any relationship. Number 4, he says, we don't get much time to be together, obviously. Keeping all those things, she meets me knowing that if her father comes to know, it will be a mess. Yeah, okay. I feel like hopeless. Well, short of going to talk to her father or her mother and explaining your case that you guys are marrying and loving each other, not marrying each other's religion, and a person is first, then religion is added to that person, but you are actually interested in each other, separated from interfering with each other's religion, and that is what the bonding is. If they understand that, they do. I doubt it if they would understand it, but because I know how deep these sort of thoughts and feelings are in that neck of the wood, then simply, my friend, don't limit yourself. World is so big, there's so many wonderful women out there, and so many good people out there. Men and women can find each other to suit each other, and then you build a life. You can't think that this woman who doesn't want me is the only woman that is good for my life. How could that be? I don't care why she doesn't want you or how she's been convinced. The fact that she has become not as committed as it used to be, or as you expect it to be, then that should be your clue to make the right decision and free yourself. Don't be fighting all the time. You go do your best, explain things to her parents and whatnot. If that works, great. If it doesn't, then it's not the end of the world, for God's sake. So many other wonderful things. You know, you know that many people who actually have the same religion and the same everything, the same caste, and they love each other and they get married, and yet a few years later it still doesn't work, they get divorced. So that's not the end of the world. They go find somebody else. This one, you haven't even married, so if it doesn't work, just, you know, go find somebody else. There is a possibility with finding other people who would suit you, for sure. It's not like only this. You think that way because that's the only person you know, and that's the only person you're in this kind of a relationship at the moment. but that doesn't mean they can't have the same kind of a situation, if not better, with somebody else, which you will have a lot more things in common. Just time will tell. All right. WD says, that's only the secret for our 6 years relationship of my... That is only the secret of our 6-year relationship of my boyfriend. Thanks God. Okay, I didn't get that because I must have missed the other part. Sorry. And WD is talking to Akash. All right. Okay, they're talking to each other, not me. Okay, that's good. I understand that. WD says, just fight for the things that you do. Okay, all right. Okay. Bobby says, wow, wonderful. Thank you for the clarity. Okay, so it looks like we have all, Akash says, thanks. Okay, look like we have all gone through the hour, and if not more today. It started a little rocky. We didn't have enough questions, but suddenly, you know, the questions became more and more. And I want to thank you all for being here and spending time with me, and so I can share some opinions with you. Don't forget to share the videos you like on YouTube channel of mine, on your social media, and help people to know that support exists and to know about my work. Also, please make sure to visit my site, Mind That Seeks Truth, mindthatseekstruth.com. And do take advantage of the ebook prices and get one, and also encourage your friends to check the site as well. Thanks for being here. Have a nice day, and hope everything will work out for you. If you wish to join us tomorrow at the other live talk at the Amazing Things in the World Facebook page, please do. Otherwise, I see you guys next week. Love you all, and thanks very much, and be good to yourself and to each other. Bye for now.